In today's video, I'm gonna talk about 5 villains from Disney that are pure evil and 5 villains that are broken, so let's start with the 5 that are pure evil. Let's start with Ursula, the main antagonist in The Little Mermaid. She is one of those villains you just love to hate. She's not just mean, she's downright sinister. She's all about manipulation and deceit, using Ariel's dreams against her to strike a deal that ends up putting the young mermaid in serious trouble. But Ursula's wickedness doesn't stop there. She's power-hungry to the core, willing to do whatever it takes to seize control. She's not afraid to challenge King Triton himself, aiming to snatch his throne and wreak havoc in the underwater kingdom. What drives Ursula is this insatiable thirst for domination. She thrives on controlling others and bending them to her will. It's what makes her such a formidable foe, and what makes her one of the most memorable villains in Disney history. Coming in at number 2, we've got Jafar from Aladdin. This guy is all about power and getting to the top, no matter what it takes. He'll do anything, from lying and tricking people to straight-up murder, just to get his hands on that magic lamp. Jafar's so obsessed with becoming the most powerful guy around that he doesn't care who he hurts along the way. But here's the thing. His ambition blinds him to the consequences of his actions. He's so focused on his own rise to power that he doesn't see how it's all gonna come crashing down on him. And let's not forget, he's smart and ruthless, which makes him a real challenge for Aladdin and his crew. Taking the 3rd spot is the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland. This queen doesn't mess around. She runs her kingdom like a dictatorship, using fear and tyranny to keep everyone in line. She's notorious for handing out death sentences left and right, without a care for fairness or justice. And let's talk about her temper, it's off the charts. You never know what'll set her off, and when she blows her top, it's chaos. People around her are constantly on edge because of her unpredictable behavior, which just adds to the atmosphere of fear and oppression. But what really drives her is this need to control everything in Wonderland. She's so fixated on maintaining her power that she doesn't hesitate to be cruel and ruthless, with no regrets whatsoever. Coming in at number 4 is Shan Yu from Mulan. This guy is the definition of evil. He's ruthless, merciless, and just plain scary. Leading the Huns, he's all about war, and he doesn't hold back. Wherever he goes, destruction follows. Shan Yu couldn't care less about human life. All he wants is to conquer and dominate. He's so focused on his goal that he'll do whatever it takes, no matter how brutal. And he doesn't have an ounce of empathy in him, it's like he's made of pure darkness. His tactics are brutal, and he strikes fear into the hearts of anyone who dares to stand in his way. Shan Yu is not someone you want to mess with. He's a force to be reckoned with, and he'll stop at nothing to achieve his twisted ambitions. Number 5 on the list is Gaston from Beauty and the Beast. This guy is all about himself. He's vain, arrogant, and just plain full of himself. He's got his sights set on Belle, and he won't take no for an answer. Gaston isn't above using people to get what he wants, whether it's manipulating them or even trying to kill the beast. His whole deal is wrapped up in this toxic idea of masculinity and entitlement. He thinks he's entitled to Belle and will do whatever it takes to make her his own, even if it means hurting others along the way. Gaston's so fixated on being in control that he doesn't care who gets hurt in the process. And let's not forget his obsession with power. It's like he can't get enough of it. He's blinded by his own ambition, which makes him a seriously dangerous and downright despicable villain. Now, let's take a look at 5 villains who are more broken than truly evil. Let's start with Sid from Toy Story. This kid's got a real knack for destruction, but it's not just because he's mean, it's more complicated than that. See, Sid doesn't really get what toys mean to other people. Plus, it seems like he's not exactly rolling in dough, so he can't just buy new toys like some kids can. Instead, he gets his kicks out of taking them apart and putting them back together in weird ways. But here's the thing, it's not all about being evil for Sid. There's something deeper going on with him. Maybe it's because he doesn't have a lot of friends, or maybe there's something going on at home. Whatever it is, It's clear that Sid's actions come from a place of not really understanding the value of things, rather than just wanting to be mean. In a way, Sid's kind of a tragic figure. He's messed up, sure, but you can't help but feel a little sorry for him too. Coming in at number 2, we've got Randall Boggs from Monsters, Inc. This guy's whole deal is about wanting to be the best scarer around. See, he's got this burning desire for everyone to recognize just how good he is at his job. Problem is, no matter what he does, he's always playing second fiddle to Sully. So, what does Randall do? He starts playing dirty. He's all about using sneaky tricks and underhanded tactics to try and get ahead. But here's the thing, all his scheming doesn't really pay off. Turns out, he's just not very good at connecting with kids, and he's too focused on scaring them instead of making them laugh. In the end, Randall's obsession with being the best ends up being his downfall. It's like they say, you reap what you sow, and all that scheming and conniving catches up with him in the end. Grabbing the third spot is Yzma from The Emperor's New Groove. This lady's got brains, no doubt about it, but sometimes she's a little too sure of herself. She's always scheming to take over the kingdom, but her plans have this funny way of blowing up in her face. Maybe it's because she underestimates the situation or just gets too cocky. And here's the thing, Yzma's not exactly a people person. She couldn't care less about how her actions affect others, it's all about her and her goals. But that lack of empathy ends up biting her in the end. Her schemes never quite pan out, leaving her stuck in this cycle of frustration and defeat. So yeah, Yzma might be smart and sneaky, but her overconfidence and disregard for others always seem to trip her up in the end. Coming in at number 4 is Lotso from Toy Story 3. This guy's not your typical villain. His whole deal is more about his own baggage than anything else. See, Lotso's had a rough go of it, and it's left him bitter and messed up inside. His time at Sunnyside Daycare has really messed with his head. Instead of dealing with his own issues, he takes it out on everyone else, ruling the place with an iron fist. Lotso's not about wealth or power. He's just trying to control things because he feels so out of control himself. But here's the sad part. Lotso's so broken inside that he can't even form real connections with other toys. He's all about manipulation and mistreatment, and it's like he's incapable of understanding what real friendship is. In the end, Lotso's own insecurities and traumas are what bring him down. It's a sad story, really, a toy who's so hurt and lost that he can't find his way back to being good again. Coming in at number 5 is Prince John from Robin Hood. This guy's all about one thing, money. He's greedy to the core, and he'll do whatever it takes to line his pockets, even if it means squeezing every last penny out of the poor folks in Nottingham. Prince John's so fixated on getting richer and fancier that he doesn't even notice the suffering he's causing. People in Nottingham are struggling because of his excessive taxes, but he's too busy counting his coins to care. But here's the thing, Prince John's not just greedy, he's also really insecure. He's always worried that he's not good enough, so he tries to make up for it by flaunting his wealth and power. It's like he's trying to prove something to himself, but he's going about it all wrong. In the end, Prince John's greed and insecurity are what make him such a sad figure. Sure, he's in a position of authority, but deep down, he's just a scared little guy who's afraid of being inadequate.